Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, VCers, YouTubers, who's ever stopping in. Appreciate it. If you haven't subbed, please consider subbing. Just like to get that out of the way. I appreciate all the subs and all the likes and all the comments. Really helps us out. Today's segment is again about this record, and it's been talked a lot on the web, on YouTube, on even today on one of the early morning shows. This record, Fast Car, was put into the Smithsonian Museum for National Treasures of Music. So Fast Car, which is ironic because this album has just been reissued after 37 years, and this is the 35th edition, so you can look that up on YouTube. I believe it's the National Registry for the Smithsonian. So Fast Car is now in that, and you know, if you go and look and see what music's in there, everything's in there. Even Windows, the window chime when you open up Windows actually was honored to be put into that, you know, today as well, or this week as well. So we're talking about Tracy Chapman's self-titled record. And I was over at my friend Don's the other day, and we actually did a A-B comparison. Don was nice enough to pull out his OG copy. I do not have an OG copy of this, but Don has a near mint OG copy. And when we played side two actually sounded as if it was probably never played. He doesn't remember the last time he played it. So we cleaned it in his VPI record cleaning machine. We played that. We played this. We listened to 4 or 5 tracks twice, so we got a good feeling of nuances, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, what's interesting is, and I'll link this in the back, I'll show his album and my album on the back end on an end screen, so if you wait, you could click on that. It's only a few minutes long, so it won't take up a lot of your time, but you could actually see the vinyl. You could actually see the difference in the color of the covers and the insert. And there's a little difference. And one interesting note, before I forget, Don's copy is a BMG Record Club copy. So that's a Record Club copy. I forgot to check the dead wax, but the label is exactly as the Elektra label for the OG standard issue. And also, like I said, his copy was near mint. Side 2 was virtually unplayed. Side 1 was with Fast Car. That's probably what he was listening to when he first picked this record up. And another fact of this copy is it did not have the insert that includes the languages, the different languages of the songs on the as that comes on the insert. So no open 4-page sheet was in there. Don does not know if it was originally in the Record Club edition, or if however he got the copy, it was misplaced, or when he bought it used, it was taken out. So we don't know. But before I go over this, my critique, and we also critiqued it together. And Don's ears are very good. He's got one of the. I'm not going to say one of the best. He has the best systems of anyone that I know, and his record collection is you know, extensive. It's another one of the best record collections I've ever seen. So I want to thank Don again publicly here, and his wife for letting me play the record in his place and do an A-B comparison. But I'm just going to go over this real fast. This is the Rolling Stone 500 albums, best 500 albums, and Tracy Chapman's album, self-titled, on Elektra, 1988, comes in at 258, and that's right after the Buena Vista Social Club, Crosby, Stills and Nash debut, self-titled, Working Man's Dead, Grateful Dead, 259, The Genius of Ray Charles, 260, and Blood, Sweat and Tears is 261, Child is the Father to Man. So I'm just going to read what they write about Chapman. Somehow this young folk singer came out of nowhere to catch everyone's ear during the hair metal late 80s. And if you remember, in my first review, I talked about what came out in 1988. That record came out in 1988. as well, so I posted that. Metallica came out, Guns N' Roses, a lot of heavy metal. This was far different from what was in the top 200. Chapman had already spent time strumming her acoustic guitar for spare change on the streets around Boston, but her gritty voice and storytelling made Fast Car hit home. Now, this review is weak. It's just a quick synopsis. I guess if you go to rollingstone.com, you can read the real full-length review. But that's basically what I was trying to say. This record was so different. And by the way, Tracy Chapman does not consider herself a folk singer. She did not like that, attachment to put her in that genre. She says she is not a folk singer. So we'll leave it at that. But anyway, this record came out the other day. I was lucky enough to get a deep red Walmart edition, and I'll show it again. I did an unboxing, which I'll also post on the back end. But let's get down to the shootout. So we played this record, and what we did was we played the first 3 tracks on side 1, which is Fast Cars track 2. And we have on first track is Talking About a Revolution and Across the Lines. And then we played this, and then we played the OG, which is a BMG Record Club edition. I don't think there's any difference in that edition. I believe it's the same as the standard Electra edition. Then we played side 2, Mountains of Things, She's Got Her Ticket, and Why. So we didn't listen to the whole record, but we basically got songs that we are familiar with. And I'll talk about what we found out. This sounded great right off the bat. I heard a little bit of sibilance in her voice initially, even on my system and on Don's system on this record. But when we played the OG, the voice was exactly the same, so that's part of the tape. Not maybe sibilance, but a little high, a little out of whack, and then it kind of settled in. Cymbals tremble on this record, on the OG, on the Deep Red Vinyl exclusive, was there. Strumming of guitars was there. It was a pretty compacted, soundstage, but the soundstage still had separation. But when we listened to the OG copy, Don pointed this out, that the bass was tighter. The vocals were for me were about the same. And let me just point out, virtually a very, very small difference in between the OG black record, black vinyl, and this red vinyl, this 35th anniversary, which came out 37 years after the fact, because when this was supposed to be released as a 35th anniversary, there were problems with COVID, problems with the supply chain, so everything got pushed up 2 years, and that's why we're getting this now, April of 2025, rather than April of 2023. So we talked about that earlier. But Don has a very good ear, and for initially, I thought that the Ruby Red, this Deep Red, sounded better. You had Fast Car, which is the record I'm more familiar with. Talking About a Revolution sounded great. Then we flipped it over to the black copy, and you could hear that the bass is tighter on the black copy, on the original OG, and that when she says whisper, and when I'm talking about Revolution, I believe it's whisper, the whisper is more prominent. Highs were good on both, the hitting of the cymbals, and so it was close, but Don thought that the bass was tighter and the bass was more prominent on the black, and I agree, but nothing really which would say stay away from the reissue. Nothing would say that. It was very close, and what we thought about and articulated was that if you did not hear side 1 of this Ruby Red, you would not know anything was off. So then we listened to side 2. Now side 2 has a song that has a lot of percussion in it, which is Mountain of Things, and She's Got Her Ticket. 2 great songs, and on those songs you could actually here the bass was a little tighter on the black again, but the highs were, for me, the highs were the same. The treble was the same. We have great percussion on Mountain of Things, so that really opened up the sound stage. And don't forget, this is originally a digital mix and digital recording anyway. I believe Bernie cut these for Rhino. I believe it's the same parts that were used for the Walmart exclusive, but I did not verify that. She's got her ticket, which is track 2 on side 2. Great song, and if you listen to that song, listen to Tracy playing electric guitar, and she sounds like Mark Knopfler on this record, and that's, kind of close to when Dire Straits was out in 1988. So her guitar playing is great. There's no two records on this album that you would say it's a formula. Everything is different. The band accents her stage presence and her leadership of this group. She is the vocal point. The band does not take away from this. As far as the quality, and here's the insert. Again, it has lyrics and also credits. And here is the insert. Well, that's the inner sleeve insert. And this is the insert that has Spanish, German, I believe, French, Italian lyrics of the songs on here. And Don did not have this in his copy. But overall, he has a mint copy. So we did them back to back. We did them back to back, belly to belly. Played each song at least 3 times to familiarize ourselves with it. And like I said, I was already familiar with the Deep Red edition from Walmart. And we came out of it giving the OG, which is a record, I keep on saying Record Store Day, that's on my mind. Record Store Day is coming up. But the Record Club edition, a slight edge. Nothing major. For you to go out and try to seek out a OG copy that's near mint, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. So what I would do is I would buy the 35th anniversary reissue, and if you could find this one, get this one. I was lucky enough to find this at Walmart. This is supposed to be the better sounding ones out of all the reissues, the black vinyl and the I believe there's a gold vinyl. I'm not sure who puts that out, maybe Target or maybe Rhino or Tracy Chapman. But the ruby red, deep red as it's called, is supposed to be a little better sounding. But in my case, I liked slightly, and Don liked slightly, the OG black edition, the one that came out in 88. And his was a Record Club edition from BMG. But I believe, what they'll do is BMG would buy the records from Elektra and put them in packaging that says their club or stamp it, and they were sent out. I don't believe BMG did not press their own records, so let's get that out of the way for the most part, as they didn't press this record. So that's basically it. A little bit tighter bass, a little bit spread out. You could hear the vocals on some of her whispers and articulation when she gets down nitty gritty, but overall, very close. I could not say, buy the black one if you can find one for, whatever price it is, if it's near mint. If you're one of those persons who have to have the OG, then go out and buy an OG. In my ears, this is just my opinion, and in Don's ears, it's just his opinion. We give the OG a slight edge, but I'm saying a slight edge, very, very close. And if you listen to this one, you would say it sounds fabulous, because I was very happy with this. And the more I listened to it, the more it opened up, like a bottle of wine. It opened up. It just, maybe my ears were acclimated to it. And again, just a great record. Side 1 is very short. I didn't time it. Overall, the record's about 35 minutes long in length. Side 1 may be 13 or 14 minutes, I'm thinking, because it just flies by. After you put off Fast Car, it just rocks right out of here. So overall, We like them both, very close. If you could get this copy, get this copy. If not, go to Rhino, pick up a copy on Rhino. I know these are also available from people selling them on eBay, a little bit more money than you pay at Walmart, but I don't know if they're around. I went to a Walmart again today because I had to pick up some Easter candy and things for the grandkids, and of course I looked and nowhere to be found. So that's it. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider it. And if you wait till the end, I'm going to post my initial review of this one, which goes into detail, and then I'm going to post the photos and videos of my friends, Black, OG, and this next to each other, so you can see the different color tones on the jacket and on the inner sleeve. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Keep rocking. Appreciate it. Ciao.